Hi guys, it's me again. Guess where I am now? I'm actually in London. So today's video is actually about talking about my UAL portfolio because I've been wanting to do this video since I got accepted. But like back in Hong Kong, my apartment is not that well lit. It's kind of dim and then there are a lot of noises. So now that I'm in my new apartment in London, I finally got the time and the space and energy to do this video. So, the school I got accepted is UAL Camberwell MA Illustration. So the slide today is actually 30 pages, so I'll keep this quick and fast so that you guys won't get too bored. So the first page is actually just an intro page. I actually used Canva to make this, so I don't have to spend too much time on the design. It's quick, got lots of good themes, so you can use that. So the second page is actually my biography and my pretty picture, profile picture. So just basic information like talk about where you're from, why did you did your BA, on your position, like are you working or your work experience, is there any awards you have won or distinguished achievements, and your clients, for example. So I got plenty of those. Actually, I've included, I think, 5 to 6 commercial projects in this portfolio. And the funny thing is that I totally forgot to add my personal project, but luckily I still got accepted. So don't be like me. I think the portion is around like 4 commercial project and then 2 personal project. That's the best, I think. So the first one is Van Cleef and Arpels. Like I list all the information, like the client, the day I did it, the medium, the size, and the background information. So like the first thing you can show is the final outcome. I did these 3 illustrations for them. And then you can add on the sketches and behind the scenes. So from what I learned, the professor in UAL really consider your creative process instead of just the outcome. So don't just put the final illustrations or project that you've done. You should include lots of sketches, your thoughts. They really want to like know how you come up with this work from sketches to the final product. So I add in the initial sketches for the covers and the illustrations, and then I add the pictures that are printed out. And the second project I did is for Cut Media that I've done is a book called Brave New World. If you heard about it, it's dystopian futuristic novel. And then I won some awards, and I also included like I've won the Communication Arts Illustration Awards, D&AD shortlist, and the honorable mention in the 3x3 illustration annual. So I've included like 2 variations of the cover. It's actually 2 worlds. Like the middle one is the futuristic world of Brave New World, and then the left one is a kind of outdated, like suburban desert kind of world. So I actually quite like both of them, but eventually they choose the middle one as it represents the whole, whole background of the world better. And then this is the whole spread of the cover in ink, not ink, sorry, in the line art and in color. I actually did all my digital work in Procreate, if you wonder. And then these are the inner illustration. Talk about different scenes in the book. I actually got fortunate to like read the whole book and then I can choose the scene I want to illustrate, which is quite rare. Like sometimes the editor or the company, publishing company will have a mind like which scene they want to do, like the famous scenes. So in this one, you can actually see I use 2 different color tones, the cool ones and the warm tones, to differentiate both worlds. Like you can see the warmer tone represents a more vibrant, lively neighborhood. The cool tone represents a more distant, like cold-hearted society. Okay, and the third commercial project is for a bank. I've designed Chinese replicas for them in 2021, so which is the year of ox. So the whole theme is a bull, an ox, and I use this concept, like the bank always value the bulls. I don't know why, like in every bank you can see a gold bull in front of the entrance. So it's quite a big thing for them. So I use it as the center focal point of the illustration. As you can see, I put it in the middle. And then surrounding it is the neighborhood, like people are dancing or people are celebrating Chinese New Year anyway. So you can see this is the front design and the back design. Back design is actually a tug of war game. So besides like two teams fighting each other, I changed it to a bull. Like it's quite heavy, right? So you have to pull it back. And this is the product shot. It's quite essential, I think, to like include both digital and printed version of it if it was a product. So the professor can see more details instead of just a flat surface. You know what I mean? And the fourth one is a portrait. A portrait for Art and Peace magazines on the cover. And this also won me some awards, blah blah blah. Yeah, this one is quite easy. So I just include the sketches. Oh, I didn't include the sketches. I just put the final cover on it because I really like this one. So it's quite important to include a variation of your illustrations. Like, don't just put all portraits illustration in the portfolio. As you can see, like I've included some portraits, some architectures, some editorial illustrations. So I got a range of illustrations that I can showcase that I have the skills and ability to create those. And then the another one is for New Balance. So this one is quite not just about digital. I have done a digital part on this project, but I also done a window mirror for them, as you can see. So yeah, the left one is the sketches for the digital illustration. As you can see, the sneaker is in front, and then the theme is kind of 70s, 80s disco era. So I've included a huge ass vinyl, and then people are dancing on it. As you can see, people are wearing funky hipster clothes. And the right one is for the window mirror. So I've imagined a 70s space girl like floating in space wearing their sneakers. It's quite cool actually. Yeah, you can see the left canvas is the printed out digital illustration, and the window mirror I've done at the front story. Yeah, and I actually include the link for the professor to see. I didn't know if they would click on like external link, but you could include anyway. It's the process of me creating the window mirror. And then the next one is for McDonald's. It's a set of 3 illustrations. So they actually asked me to choose whatever items of food you want and then create illustration for their social media. So I've chosen the iconic like big 3, the French fries, the Big Mac, and the chicken nuggets. These are the sketches. Yeah, I really like this one because it's a little bit different from my usual color palette. Like I've deliberately chosen some purples and yellow. Like I seldom use those very bright color. Like my palette is more muted or more vintagey. Vintage, is it the word vintagey? It's vintage-like. So this clash of color really brings out the vibrant and the liveliness of this brand. And also, I was actually inspired by BTS campaign. Like they use purple for the whole campaign. Yeah, and that's it. Oh, that was quite quick, right? I did it under 10 minutes. So now I'm gonna talk about the interview section, which may be the most interesting part. Because at first I thought that they will ask me a lot of questions about my portfolio. It turns out they didn't ask me a thing about my portfolio. Like I even prepare my actual product and the size when I'm doing the Zoom the Teams interview, and I was ready to like bring out and show the professor the real work. But turns out they asked me questions about my art practice and more of my future map or future plan for my practice. one question they asked me is, what do you wish to achieve when you apply to our school? And I answered them, I think I want to go back to my roots, because since I'm not doing digital at first, like in my uni, I study a selection of courses, like from printmaking to ceramics to photography to even Chinese painting or glass. Like some of them are quite irrelevant, but anyway, like I said, if I went to Camberwell, I would use those resources to broaden my art practice, so I can integrate different medium into my work and create my kind of world, if you understand. So my world isn't just about digital illustration. I could build like sculptures or ceramic figures that could support my art world in a sense. So the second question is quite relevant to me, because as I said, am a commercial illustrator, and then they want to know how do you separate yourself from commercial if you want to be a more fine artist. So I would say I would add more storytelling and world building into my work, so that it will have a sense of individuality, like it was separate from the commercial world, like without all those commercial value that were inputted in my work. So I promised them that kinda. And I think that's it. Like we have talked about those two questions for quite a period. Like like the whole interview actually just lasted around 10 minutes, and but we were very focused on those issues and on those subjects. And then at last, she asked me if I have any questions for them, like the usual. And then I think it was wise to like at least ask something. Like you could write some questions you want to ask beforehand, so you wouldn't panic at that moment, because it's quite nervous actually in the front. And I asked them just like a silly question, like, can you share resources, like the library resources on each campus? And then they said, yeah, we can share the library, but not workshop actually, just the library. So anyway, I just ended quickly, and then I said, hope to see you soon. And then yeah, then I got accepted, like after waiting a whole ass 2 months. Yeah. So that's it. I hope this video kind of helps you in a way if you're applying for bachelor or MA degree foundation. And then ask me any question if you want, and then I will answer them for you. And I wish the best luck of you. And that's it for today. Peace out. Bye.